Hi everyone, thanks again for joining me. Today we're going to have a look at just a few special LPs in my view, as far as the bootleg world is concerned, vinyl bootlegs. They involve the Stones and the Who, and also the Beatles. But before we just look at those, just show you what I've got on the back today, which is just a few not particularly rare Floyd picture discs. So I might do a special on picture discs, but these are just a few I've put out for today. So we've got an uncut shaped picture disc of Dark Side outtakes. I think we've got Brain Damage Eclipse on one side and Money on the other side. So it's still in its uncut state. Then we've got United, which is the Hyde Park 2005 reunion tracks. Nice picture disc, limited. It says 81 out of 100 picture discs made. There are various different versions of that, coloured vinyls, but I thought I'd just have the picture disc. And on this side we've got it's a 10-inch picture disc of Venice. It came out just a few years ago. There's a series of them. They're numbered and limited, I think, to 250, so these are quite scarce now to find. Beautiful picture disc. And then here we've got Pink Floyd Rare Beauties, which I think is probably BBC stuff. It's just beautiful picture disc. They bought a volume 2 out, which I didn't bother getting because it's not as an attractive item. Funny enough, I've got the image as a 3D thing there, which somebody got me for my birthday once, so I do like that poster. So that's for the Floyd on display. So what we're looking at basically today is William Stout, who infamous and famous genius of an illustrator, as he would become, world famous, world renowned. He first got involved in bootlegs I think about 73. He was in a record store, his local record store, and he was looking at these bootlegs, and he just commented that the covers were pretty lame and that he could do a better job. Just so happened in the store was somebody involved with the trademark of quality label, so they sort of took him up on his offer, and I think they arranged to meet him on the street corner one evening, which he did. And the story goes that a sedan comes along with blacked out windows, a window rolls down, out comes a hand with a $50 bill or $50 and a piece of paper which just said Rolling Stones Winter Tour and the tracks, and they told him to meet them there 2 weeks later. So off goes William Stout to do his design for the cover, and lo and behold, that's how it all started. So basically this is what he came up with. One of the most iconic, brilliant bootleg inserts you'll ever find. Obviously keen to impress, so he's done a fantastic Rolling Stones logo. He's used all different styles for the titles, and then he's done not one cover, but effectively 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 17 effectively different designs, each of which could have made a fantastic cover on their own. So each design relates to the track. They're absolutely brilliant, and so obviously having done that, he was kept on, and the rest, as they say, is history. So to illustrate this, this actually is not the original pressing. This is a subsequent pressing that came out on Dragonfly label, which actually is Vicky Vinyl's label. So it's a repressing that she did. What I like about it is the insert is the full size of the cover, so it's literally edge to edge, and yet the actual image is pin sharp. So it's not sort of just a cheaply blown up version of the original insert, which would have been slightly smaller. And it's blue on pink, which is a colour that wasn't done on the original pressing, most of which I think were dark purple with black print. In that corner there's a circle saying 2 record set. Well, on the original pressings that was where the trademark of quality logo was. The other thing to note is that one of the tracks, It's All Over Now, Stout did an image of a nuclear explosion, mushroom cloud, and that ended up being used as the logo for Mushroom Records, which is a label owned by Vicky Vinyl for multicolour pressings that she did. So the concept was Inglewood Forum, California, 1973. I think it was a benefit concert for Nicaragua. Subtitled All Meat Music Winter Tour 1973. So it's just a brilliant album with a brilliant history, and the start of William Stout's relationship with bootlegs. So I used to have the black vinyl original pressing, which I sold when I was selling all my collection off years ago. What I've since acquired is the actual mushroom repressing version of it, which is in multicolour vinyl. I only got this recently, to be honest, and I was delighted to get it. So we've got the original insert in sort of a bright green with black print. This is still in its original shrink wrap, and it's actually still got the price sticker from the very first shop that it was sold in America. $6.99 it would have cost you then. And there we have the trademark of quality Smoking Pig logo. It actually has TMQ 72006, the catalogue number. And the only thing that distinguishes it from the mushroom, from the trademark of quality release, is underneath there. It says Mushroom Underground Classic Series Volume 2, 2811. So she wasn't using the mushroom logo at this stage, no need to, because it's already on the design. So I'll show you the vinyls, which are pretty special. So the one is a lovely red white splatter with blue and black specks in it. That's the what I call the rose or the flower label. ready to idle mind. And the second disc, spectacular blue with red, yellow, white, and a black splatter on it. And we've got the trademark of quality labels on this disc. It's quite mind-blowingly beautiful thing. So that's the Mushroom Records version of Winter Tour 73. Now, on the subject of Mushroom Records, I showed on a previous video, that was their version of the On Blueberry Hill Led Zepp album. And there's the Mushroom Cloud design, taken from the Stones LP. And I've got one other Mushroom Records title, which is the Beatles on Stage in Japan 1966 tour. Again, this was a fairly recent acquisition. This was a corniphone. In fact, I think it was the very first corniphone pressing that Tackle brought out. Their insert was just basically that, a square one. It would have had the Tackle logo there. So we've got the Mushroom Records logo there, and this time they've done the wraparound insert. I've changed it into a wraparound insert, collector's edition coloured vinyl stamp. A nice picture of the band there. So all in all, a lovely version to own. I'll just show you the vinyl. So it's a lovely multicolour blue splatter with a label. Really gorgeous. You've got light blue, red, white, some greens. Really nice example, and pretty much in mint condition. So the other one I was going to talk about today, which continues the story of William Stout. The last cover that William Stout did, which is in 1976. This is for the TMQ label, as was at that time. Was this? So it's deluxe printed cover, full colour, Tales from the Who. Obviously it's a parody of the Tales from the Crypt design. New Who brew to do you through. It's a double album from a live show on the Quadrophenia tour. back. Again, great imagery. It says it's done with the QS quadraphonic matrix. Sorry. So this version, which I'm showing at the moment, is coloured vinyl. Trademark quality labels. And it's red, but with white swirls. This was the repressing. The good repressing. There's been other repressings since. And the second disc is blue with white swirls. So this version's quite sought after. And obviously being a coloured vinyl collector, that's the version I honed in on. There's a later repressing with different labels, printed labels, and the coloured vinyls, and the colours are kind of split, which I did have at one stage, but it's a bit ugly to be honest. But that's that's what I call the proper coloured vinyl version of it. But as I say, that's not the first pressing. Now what happened with this LP, 1976, TMQ had been under threats of being busted by the FBI for quite a while, and they heard that there was a bust absolutely imminent. So the factory, or the warehouse where they got all these things stored, they basically had to scram back to the factory, back to the room, back to the warehouse, and pretty much destroy everything that was in there. And what that meant was most of the original pressings of the Tales from the Who bootleg were destroyed. The only ones that had got out were ones that they'd given to friends or were storing elsewhere at the time. And I believe that there was only about 120 actually exist from that first pressing. The first pressing was black vinyl, but it was on the traditional printed cover, whereby the print is done onto paper, which is then glued onto the cover front and back, whereas that coloured vinyl one I showed you is just printed card. So this then is the first pressing. It might not look very different on camera, but when you compare the two close up, the printing on here is just that much sharper, and it's got slightly fuzzy edges when you look very closely. Everything's the same in terms of design, but as I say, this is printed paper onto card, and it's a lot heavier. The spine, they both say TMQ Deluxe Series 62002Q, but on the original one, Deluxe is spelt correctly with an E, whereas on that one they spelt it without the E at the end. So that's one thing to look for. I'll show you the vinyls, although they're just black. You've got white TMQ labels. The other difference is the matrix number on the original, this pressing, it's W560, and on the repress it's U560. So very rare to get the first pressing copy, especially in this condition, which I would say is near mint. Absolutely no marks or damage, creases or anything. Great album, great history to it, essential for collectors of bootlegs, and that one, the coloured one, essential for collectors of coloured vinyl bootlegs. Okay, that's it for now. I hope you've enjoyed that little run through